What's up everyone, Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here. I've got an interesting hack for you because everyone wants 4K. Canon's not putting it in your camera, but I learned about something and it's a trick you only need two things with, just two pieces of items, and I'm sure you have them right now. So let's check it out. Everyone needs 4K, everyone wants 4K, let's get 4K now. So as you see right here, I have the Nikon D750, which only does 1080p at 60 frames per second. It doesn't do anything more, but the biggest thing you're going to need is a camera for one, that obviously is not 4K, because if so, you wouldn't have the issue. And you need to have an SD card, or whatever memory card you're using inside. You're going to need to take this out, put this inside your computer, which I have my reader right there, and then we'll take over on the desktop right here so I can show you exactly how to hack and get your camera to shoot 4K. And this is without any kind of magic lantern or anything. And well, let's just talk about it more. Nikon, Canon, Sony, whatever, even though Sony already wins. Let's talk about it. What's up everyone? We are now on my desktop, and the one thing I'm doing right now is putting in the SD card so you can see it from beginning to end. So I just inserted the SD card. It should pop up in 1 second. So you're going to see it right here. I had this memory card in the Sony RX100, but the first thing I would do is format the card in camera so that way it's clear and everything. And this isn't necessarily like a firmware hack. It's kind of like a glitch hack in the way that it works. It's a little confusing to explain, but it's very simple to do, and you just have to know a couple things right here. And you really just have to come down to the file name. So I'm going to be using this on the Nikon D750, which once again shoots 1080p. And this part's very important. You should know the specs of your camera in regards to that, because you're going to need to know the frames per second and how it shoots. Because to get this to work, you're going to need to put half that. So for example, because this camera, the Nikon D750 right here, ultimately shoots at 1920 by 1080p, so 1080p at 60 frames per second, I will only be able to get 4K at 30 frames per second. So for example, if you're shooting 1080p and your camera can only do 30 frames per second, you can only do 4K at 15, and that doesn't look the best, but it's a great hack. And there's no need to download anything to risk viruses or anything. This is just a simple way to hack the camera to get something like this. Once again, the 30 to 15 might not look the best, but it's the best option you have, since no camera company is putting it in there except Sony for the most part. And Panasonic, you know, for that part as well. But if you're worried about that, you don't want to try like a magic lantern, or if it's not out yet for your camera or something like that, the ultimate hack is to use your memory card right here. So to get this to work, you're going to have to write in the camera model and the name and model. So I have all caps on. I just turn caps on. I have the Nikon D750, so Nikon D750. You're going to want to space in between there. If you want a Canon or anything like that, you type in Canon, and then the 80D to 80D or whatever you have as something like that. And then you're going to have to put in whichever this is pretty much 4K, the consumer model for the most part, the one you see in a lot of cameras, and it's 3840 by 2160, and it's essentially 4K because it's pretty much close to that. There is a higher standard, but that doesn't work with these type of cameras. And then the other part you're going to have to put in is the half frames per second. So once again, the D750 does 1080p at 60 frames per second, so this is going to be half that at 30 FPS. You're going to hit enter, and then once you're done, you're going to be able to put the camera, the card back into your camera. Just don't format it, or it will lose all the information you just did, and you got to do the process again. But after that, it is done. You are done, and that's all there is to it. I mean, you can get around this BS that camera companies are putting it in, because everyone wants 4K, everyone needs 4K, everyone's going crazy over 4K. You just need it. Any questions or comments, or if this is not working for you, please let me know. I did my best to make it as accurate as possible. Let me know down in the comments below.